Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 115.
I don't mean to sound like a pussy.
Well, you kind of do.
But here's the deal. It's cold in St. Louis. And everybody from Saskatchewan's like, shut up. We know what cold is. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It's so damn cold here. It's so damn cold here, man. You can't even... My cat is struggling right now. She's struggling to find something. You can only lay on the vent for so long.
Blay's loving it. Like, he's just hanging out outside. He doesn't even want to come in. I'm like, Blay, come in. And he's like, no, I don't want to come in. Which is further proof that he is Bernie's mountain dog. You know, I was talking to some people about that and then looking up some pictures, Googling what they're all about. He fits every characteristic.
No, he's not.
He checks every box.
I was gonna tweet some out last night and say, all y'all, get your damn animals inside. Cuddle them. Make them lay on the bed for a couple days. This is about 3 or 4 days where it's fucking... people in St. Louis, and again, you could call us pansies all you want because we are, but it's really cold and people aren't used to it, and animals aren't used to it. And I was going to tweet something out, and the reason why I was going to tweet it out is because I was thinking of your fucking ass. And I'm like, Andy probably forgot about him. He probably forgot about it. Poor Blaze, like, help me. Mike, I left my cat... Oh, God. I had a scare.
Does cat go out...
I had a scare.
Does the cat go outside?
Little boo-boo. I had a scare. I went outside to do something. I went back inside, and I didn't shut the fucking door all the way. And I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to the doors, and sometimes they get caught on rugs when you shut them. I went back into my office. I made a couple phone calls. I think I was talking to you. I'm like, God, is it fucking cold? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh, I left something open. I'm like, hold on a second. I went out, left the door up. I'm like, okay, shut it. Went upstairs.
The cat got out.
I went upstairs, and I'm like... hanging out, talking to Kate. I did a couple other things. Then I'm like, where's Boo Boo? Like, where you at? Okay, let me look at this vent. Okay, let me look upstairs. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I left that fucking door open. I went downstairs, Andy. She was crawling. Like
frozen.
She's like, help me.
Inside an ice cube.
I grabbed her. I opened that goddamn door. I picked her up. I took a blanket, colored it, put her on a vent. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it freaked me the fuck out.
No, it's cold.
I almost tweeted something out.
I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
Jesus.
It feels good. When I'm in a red light, like I keep getting hot everywhere I go. It's hot in my house. The fireplaces are going. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Last night, I put the window open in our bedroom,
really?
and Laurie almost lost it. It got so cold in there so quickly. But I just keep getting hot, man. I don't know what it is.
You got a newer house. You got a brand new house.
But I like it when it's like 1 degrees or when it's 0 degrees, which is what it is right now.
Shit.
This is real cold. But cold. But here in St. Louis now, like the lakes and the ponds, everything's freezing.
Fucking A.
The river that I go to, often that
you do nothing on?
No, like...
That you don't have a boat on? That you don't even swim on? That you, look at? Is that your river?
Klondike Lake. They're skating
at... pond?
They're skating.
Pond.
They're playing hockey today.
Yeah.
Pickup game, Klondike Lake.
Look, you have to get that snow off first, man. You got to take it like a blower out there, like wang, wang. Because if you don't, then it insulates, and then it's kind of slushy. My buddy fucking fell on up to his knees the other day. He's like,
dude,
just up to his knees. And then it ruined your skates are done because you're in mud.
Yeah, but that's why it's like so dangerous.
But it was, Andy, it's been so fuck cold, and the insulation from the snow kept it, and we didn't. I don't know. We're rookies down here.
Yeah, I know, but
we're not from Saskatchewan.
He could have really fallen.
He could have fucked himself up big time. And so anyway, just be careful.
Oh,
That's all.
No, you gotta
be careful.
Gotta be
Bring
careful.
your dogs inside and be careful on the ice. But take the fucking kids out. They don't give a shit. Wrap them up with shit. Put something over their head and let them go play. It's cold, Daddy.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't let the kids outside right now. I think it's way too cold to let the kids outside.
Look, they're skating no matter what. I mean, let the kids go play. Kids don't even get cold. They don't even get cold.
If they're skating, that's a little bit different.
That's what I just said.
Okay, just don't go outside and like run around the yard or whatever.
It's going to be miserable for 15 to 20 minutes, and then you're fine. That's it.
I know.
Andy, we've done this a million times.
And you know what? When the cold air is in your lungs, it actually makes you feel better.
Just get
you feel healthy.
Now, if you're not skating and you're a parent, you're like, oh yay, kids, go skate, and I'll watch you. You're going to watch from the car.
Have you noticed? And I want to bring this up with you. Fighting is up in the NHL. Time. It's coming back.
There's some heat throwing, baby. And it ain't just like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'll just fall now. I'll fall now. Oh, I did it. Yay.
No, there's been a couple good bouts.
There's some fucking heat throwing, dude.
There is.
Who's that other cat? Delorier and fucking Reaver threw some heat. fucking
Branson and Casson.
Deca Branson's throwing from downtown. He's trying to stick him with those uppercuts, like blah, blah, blah.
That Hagel knocked down Line with a roundhouse.
I know.
But you know what?
I know.
Look at all the players from the Blue Jackets. They're all like, pounding the boards.
Yeah. And of course, Brody, our engineer, goes, he must have got a talk from Cam. But I'm like, the motherfucker got buckled twice. Like,
he did get buckled. Like, hey, listen, Line I know you got some heat the other day.
Yeah.
You said something probably you shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
And then you got benched, and it became headline news, and you got embarrassed. But don't fight.
You don't need to fight.
You don't need to fight, dude.
I know.
Because you just went bar down like a few minutes before that, like a
right
sick ass shot. Line. Do that. That's all you need to do. Don't fight.
I like it though. I like the passion, but I rather you hit guys consistently and then wrestle a guy down than try to God, he caught you, man.
Everybody's got all this COVID anger though. It's like built up anger from being in the house. It's like who are like Johan Larson from Arizona just throwing bombs. Braden Schenner's like, what?
Oh, I ate that.
I didn't know we were going for real.
I ate that. Goddamn. And it's so funny when you do fight a guy and you don't really know him and he catches you with one, you're like, motherfucker, that could have caught me in a real sweet spot.
Because nobody knows. Because none of these guys ever fight before. No one knows.
No one's looking shit up before games anymore. No. They're looking up what you're doing on the fucking, on the breakout or whatever, So it's completely different. Fights are definitely up, and there's some big boys coming up, and I don't know, man. I feel like the game's kind of changing a little bit. What does that mean? I think the guys are just mad at each other. How can you not want to fucking kill Arizona? You play them 80 million times. You're like, God. I hate all you. I hate all you guys. Good. I hope it's a shit show tomorrow with the Blues and Coyotes. I hope it's a shit show. In every of these Canadian visions, I hope all these kids, they fucking hate each other. Well, it's going to help the NHL.
It's going to come out after Game 7. It's going to come out, this interview. It's coming out after the game is going to be played,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So, we don't know how it's going to play out. But
okay, my bad.
You hope that it's going to be like a super intense.
Yeah, of course.
The intensity is picking up. It's
not
quite playoff level.
No, but it's almost there. Ottawa had a good game the other day.
Oh, yeah. Well, Brady with the game winner.
Brady with the game winner. He's fucking hitting guys, falling into the boards. He's doing this. Sometimes I watch Brady, I'm like, okay, a little too much. You're falling over too much. Or, he's kind of got that where Matthew does, where I don't know. It's hard to explain. Perron kind of used to do it a lot where you're just kind of you're just falling too much. You don't need to do that. You're going to draw penalties anyway because he's got the puck all the fucking time. So it's you feel like you just want to draw penalties. But Brady's starting to become Matthew, but maybe not as, I'm not going to spear you in the balls kind of thing.
Well, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
Because now that they're all in the same division, do you think a player who just goes at it with Matthew the day before, then he plays Brady, there's a carryover?
I would say so.
Automatically? You
got that last name. I would be, if Matthew did something to me, the next game Brady just chirps me for something, I'm fucking you up now. You're going to piss your daddy off.
This is for Matthew last night.
This is for Matthew. Fuck, it's for your whole family. All right, let's go. But that's healthy, man. That's just healthy. That's what you get when you have two guys that are big, tough, entertaining, and loud in the NHL, man. Guys are going to hate them. But when they retire, it's just a different. I was thinking about this the other day, Andy. It's just so different, man. When you're retired, all that fucking crazy shit, unless you do something really stupid, but all that crazy shit you do, it's gone. It's all folktale and talk. And let's go talk about it now. And we used to hate you, but we like you now. It's so different. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
I'm saying
no.
Okay, I'll explain it again. It would never happen to you. So let me explain it. Whenever you play and you're a dick and things happen this way or the other, unless you do something really crazy or you get in big trouble or something like that. Mm-hmm. But just your play in itself, if you come out of retirement and you're hanging out and doing stuff, people love you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all that crazy shit you did is let's sit down and have a fucking round table and fucking laugh it off.
Yes.
Exactly right. So when we say it one more time,
no,
Jesus
I
Christ.
Just honestly, it's
too early. Is it too early for you?
It's Sunday morning, man.
For 3 hours, motherfucker.
My focus today is just not exactly where it needs to be right now.
I'm up for 3 hours already. 3 hours already, baby.
Oh, so is that, dude? I get up early too.
I know you do.
I'm an early riser.
I know you do.
I like to, see the wildlife and stuff in the backyard.
Who? Yeah. The dog craving to get inside so it could, live. Is that the wildlife you're talking about? Your poor dog.
No, we have elk in the backyard.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't.
We get some elk.
Elk in your back, fucking. You're
crazy. I get a lot of deer.
And the deer you get are fucking dunzo when they cross the street.
You may get a coyote or two.
You got fucking coyote. It's your dog, by the way.
But the elk, you know, they all gather.
Well, you should hunt them.
Sometimes like 20 or 30 at a time.
You should hunt them and cook it up, Andy. That's your style, right? You and Joe Rogan do that all the time.
I mean, so like when you live like out in the wilderness, like I do.
Well,
like,
if you get caught out in the wilderness, you want to be with Andy. All right.
We'll
you want to be with Andy.
We'll
if you're caught in the middle of a lake too, and you got to get home with a boat, you want to be with Andy. He knows what he's doing.
We'll look for bald eagles later on in the afternoon.
Those are in my backyard right now.
Are they? You seeing those guys?
I have Jurassic Park in my backyard. These fucking monster birds, and they're all staring at my cat, and I don't like it. And I don't fucking like it. And they're killing all these like squirrels and shit. And I'm watching them out there like, and they go swoop down like, but dang, grab one and then drop it and then swoop back down and pick that motherfucker back up. And then it's gone. That could be my kitty, and it's not happening.
Listen, the NHL is getting ready to play this game in Lake Tahoe, which I kind of...
Not on the lake,
It's not at the Lake Tahoe golf course. Is that what it is?
How nice is that?
No, it's a pretty
wealthy,
beautiful background.
Wealthiness.
Yes. Oh, I've been invited to play there.
No, you have
on
not.
A couple of occasions. Yeah,
you might have, actually. You might have.
But Lake Tahoe, is that where they have that the big Pro-Am, like with Justin Timberlake and all those guys?
No idea.
Or is that Pebble Beach? Nowhere. They have. It's a Tahoe, isn't it?
Completely different story. Pebble Beach is in California.
Okay, so is Lake Tahoe.
A different part of California.
Okay.
One's on one side, the other's on the other side.
Where, if you could pick one place to have an outdoor game, where are you taking it? Like, where would you want to go?
Fucking Lake Tahoe would be
anywhere in the world.
Oh, well, shit. Like, that beautiful lake in Italy. What's it, Geneva in Italy, where all the big actors and actresses have their houses. It's from fucking the ancient times. It's that beautiful lake in Italy, northern Italy, right by the Alps. So you have the Alps in the background, and you have the foothills and this huge lakes there. That's
northern Italy.
Beautiful, right by Switzerland, Andy, which is like
my
the
God,
most.
that's where I want to go.
Fuck, if I had a ton of money,
homie. I'd probably live in Switzerland.
I would have in those little towns surrounded by fucking
Everybody's
mountains.
like, why is Jumbo Thornton so nice? Because his wife is from Switzerland, and he goes there all the time.
Yeah,
so he's like,
beautiful
he's
people.
like, he's been like automatically like when you go there, they just christen you with niceness. They give you kindness. Hello, here's some kindness.
They spray you with like that stuff.
They spray it with you,
it's
and
like,
then all of a
on
sudden
The Exorcist, when
you
he's
come
like,
back. Wow, you seem different. What's wrong with you? Well, I just went to Switzerland.
No, because I'm happy. Look around. If you're not happy there, then you got problems.
You're like, hey, will you please get that fly or that ant? No.
Hey, can you make this?
No, I
more
won't.
Beautiful outside. I need more mountains and beautiful, perfect. You can drink the fucking water off the
the no, I'm not going to kill the fly. I'm not going to kill the ant.
If I had a ton of money,
I'm from Switzerland.
Look up that lake in northern Italy. If you guys got a ton of coin, you fucking hit gold.
What about the Grand Canyon? What about the Grand Canyon?
What about it? Are you going to live there?
I want to have an outdoor game there. I'm picking different venues.
What? That is so... That is so ridiculous.
No, they have the Colorado River at the bottom.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's Colorado River. I know exactly what it is.
You should hike down there.
Now, I would do that.
Okay, so my buddy, he runs a company, dude. That's what he does. He's a guide, and he carries like everything for you. He sets out your tent. They cook your food. It's an unbelievable business.
You like when other people do things for you,
but no, I'd have my own pack and stuff like that.
Did they creep your broad out too?
But he would definitely take us for a tour.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep in your tent too.
No, you don't do that.
That's cool.
But there's companies like that take you all the way down to the Colorado River.
I'm my own company.
Big money business.
I'm my own company.
No, I wouldn't recommend you do that on your own.
I wouldn't do that on my own.
You wouldn't know where to
kids.
go.
No,
you wouldn't know where to go.
That's how dipshits
You better have my boy with you.
I got you on that. No, I don't like dipshits. Like, I could do this, I could do that.
Like,
and they get
you
fucking
need
caught.
somebody who can fight like a black bear, with their bare hands.
Black bears are pretty kind of tame.
They're
would say
like
more
little
of a brown
guys.
bear. I say a brown bear.
I don't know how many brown bears are there down in the canyon. I think they may
not
get
many.
some black
I think
bears, maybe.
Yeah, there's fucking snakes and scorpions.
There's snakes and some mountain lions.
Scorpions will get you.
Oh, hell yeah.
They'll fucking stick you right in your Achilles, baby. Here's where you need to play. There's a fucking badass crater in Arizona that this fucking asteroid hit back in the day.
I've slept there. I told you.
50,000 years old.
I told you. I've been to the crater, and I slept outside at the crater.
With a ton of girls? Tons.
A big fire, too. Big bonfire. Actually, my buddies...
Would you get my drift on that? You put the rink in
True
that
story.
crater.
My buddy's shoe caught on fire. He had to hike out like 10 miles the next day with one shoe.
What, were you in lava, too? You guys swimming in lava? What else did you guys do? Jesus Christ.
I'm just telling you, man. I mean, just the experiences.
That sounds like a blast.
Just the experiences.
Sounds like a blast. Sleeping in a crater with a bunch of dudes. Sounds like a fucking blast.
Well, I don't know where you get your ideas from. I mean, I
got them from you. You just told me.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, cool.
Okay, so where else? Give me one other place.
That you could do to have that thing? Shit, man.
Lambeau Field would be kind of cool.
Lake George.
Lake Louise, Lake George.
Lake George up in fucking New York. upstate New York, which I love. By the Kate loves upstate New York. It's so fucking nice up there. You can go in your back if you like property up there. You can go in your backyard and find some historical shit.
A lot of fish heads up there, up in Lake George. What's that mean? Just like people who like fish,
like fishing.
No, like the band, Fish. I mean, dude, are you that much of a rookie? I mean, you are that much of a rookie.
Man, I like that band. It's like a lot of fish heads up there. Yeah, a lot of hippies. All you guys say is a lot of hippies.
A lot of hippies.
Just say that.
A lot of hippies over there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Woodstock and all
it's beautiful up there, too.
So nice up there, dude. Very expensive, but so nice. Yeah. When you, even cruising, when you're up there and you're cruising to Binghamton, you're going from Albany to Binghamton, and you're cruising around and you look around like the rolling hills. It's very picturesque. It is nice. Lake George up there is badass. Cold, very wealthy, clean. If you got coin, man, there's places I want to go.
You can ski up there, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of skiing
Vermont,
up there.
Right there in Vermont, too.
Yeah, so I got a couple of different places I'm going to make my suggestion of where they should go, where they should play.
The two states I would live, honestly, if I didn't have that much money, because they're cheap, and the East Coast is North Carolina and South Carolina. Other than that, when you go past Washington, D.C., and you go all the way up to Maine, it's expensive as fuck. So you have to have a ton of coin. But North Carolina, you can get a big bang for your buck. You got mountains, you got the ocean, you got cheap living, cool, clean, not much crime.
I like North Carolina. Up in the mountains more so than like down. And
I wouldn't mind playing for Carolina, dude.
Oh my God.
Fucking awesome
dude, all
place.
those guys love it there.
Yeah, it's really nice. If you pull up the Carolinas rink, you're like, where am I? You're like in the middle of nowhere. You have all these beautiful pine trees. You roll up and
very clean, man. Very clean.
Everybody's like playing football, like it's a football game in the grass or having picnics, and you roll up. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Eric Brewer is on this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast. Now, I know, like, we've talked about a lot of different players. Brewer's name's come up, over the course of the last handful of podcasts. He's interesting. He's a different type of personality.
Very dry sense of humor.
Very dry sense of humor. So you have to, like, understand that because he can be sarcastic. He can be a little bit condescending, but, like, in a funny way. In a funny way. So, like, if I don't know. He analyzes everything. Like, you could just say, like,
process.
Hey, Brew, like, what's your favorite color?
Well, obviously,
I don't know.
I like yellow and blue, but I like the mixture of it too. So if I really want to dig in, like, he's going to give you an answer.
Oh yeah, it's like exactly. Hey, Brew, what's your favorite holiday?
Well, I like Halloween, but then it gets scary at night, so I like Christmas. I don't know. Why keep asking me these questions? I'm sounding like an asshole. Stop.
So, I mean, that's what you get from Brew, So you get
You'll get it. You'll listen.
So you'll hear it. But he's got a good resume.
He does. 02. That 02
played the Olympics and shit.
As a 7th D man with that team?
No, I think.
Was it 02?
I think he was like top 6. He played every game, I think.
Did he play every game?
Yeah.
Did you see that lineup? Who got banged up then?
Everybody's a Hall of Famer, I think, except Brew and like Jovo.
Well, Jovo's closer than Brew.
Oh, for sure.
Way closer.
But maybe except Brew.
We had Jovo on the other day, and I'm like, was he a fucking Hall?
But they all played like well over 1,000 games and everything. Yeah, man. I mean, everybody did that.
I mean, we're all good.
I was happy for Brew because, listen, it wasn't great here, although the way it ended for him here, he started playing much better. Yeah. But then when he left here, he still validated himself as a really good player in the NHL, man. He played some great hockey when he left here in Tampa.
No, I get that. Yeah. But fuck, he went through a rough time here, man.
Dude, it was probably dude. It was not probably. It was the worst era, I think. One of them, certainly. I don't know what happened in the 70s, as much.
Yeah, they could have gone to Saskatchewan.
But it was certainly up there in terms of the timing was not right to be a St. Louis Blue.
And there's a reason why we don't see him much.
And you get traded for Pronger.
There's a reason why we don't see him much.
And you deal with all those injuries,
Yeah, dude.
And then they name you captain. Like, it was so weird.
What else?
Like, everybody's like, wow, Brewer's going to be named captain. What? Whoa. Eric Brewer? They're naming Brewer captain. Wow. This will be interesting how it goes over.
And it was.
But you know what? He says it's one of the greatest days of his life, man. So, you know what? Oh, yeah, he says it.
Yeah.
One of the greatest days of his career, maybe his life. I want to embellish here a little bit. But, so that meant a lot to him, man, to be named captain and whatever, man. He did the best he could.
He was fine, man. He just took a beating here. And it just sucks because it just sucks when you like a city and you just give it your all and it just goes bad. Like, you don't even want a piece of the city anymore, man.
No.
Like, I've seen
but he liked it here.
I know
and
he
you
did.
know what?
I know, but
even though
back
ownership and all that stuff was going down and whatever, you trade for Pronger, you get traded for Pronger. That group of players, like, everybody seemed to really have a good time. and get along, and everybody was always in a good mood. Like you didn't covering those teams. You didn't feel like you were just covering like a terrible losing environment. Like you go to the rink, everybody's happy.
What years?
Like 05, 06.
Oh yeah, I don't know about those years. Those were really bad.
They were, but through 2009.
The year I was here,
yeah.
the years we were a better team than that. But we were fine.
But you were like a fringe,
playoff team.
Had to fight to get in, or didn't?
Yeah, but we were fun. We always had fun.
That's what I'm saying. Those teams too. Like
even if we lost, we were having fun, which I guess is not a great thing. But it wasn't like who gives a shit. It was more like we got a fun ass team and we're young and let's go just bring the heat, baby.
We did this interview a long time ago too. So
I know.
So it's been like marinating for quite some time. So it's ready to roll. So enjoy Eric Brewer in this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast. As always, brought to you by CarShield. And carshield.com.
Shit, you need that now, baby.
Oh, my God. Hey, whose car isn't starting today and who wasn't listening to us? That's what I want to know.
Shit, mine didn't start on a fucking 75-degree day.
Send us a DM.
God bless it. Hey, you need CarShield now, man.
Yeah.
You get in a fucking jam. A little bit of weather goes weird.
Dude.
Oh, God. I'm telling you. Very, very, very easy. Easy peasy.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
I know.
Like the smart ones, they're like.
There's a reason why you see commercial. There's a reason why you see their commercials every 2 seconds. Like they're blowing up, man. Ric Flair and Patty and all them.
I think it's the CarShield Blues.
I think it is. It is a CarShield Blues.
The CarShield Blues. I mean, they're on every commercial break.
Jesus.
And again.
They're all big hockey fans.
They're smart,
cool,
man, in terms of how they brand themselves. And, people are starting to, those who didn't know certainly know now. There's no doubt about it. By the way, before we continue, I didn't really think much of it. Josie Theodore makes that comment, right, about Bruce Boudreau. Mm-hmm. And
the frog thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like found its way into every French-Canadian newspaper and whatever.
Well, it's not
right
good,
now.
but it's not,
But I don't know.
Josie wanted to, he's
he
the one who wanted to say it. Like,
yeah.
It's not like Josie said something where he kind of fucked up where I would do, and I'm like, hey, man, take that out. Like, no, he wanted people to hear that. And we're like, well, what do you do? Not post it? It's not like you put like a big headline, said, check out this. It's more like, here, you wanted people to hear it, so here you go. What are we supposed to do? Hide that shit?
Right.
Now, again, it's different.
If he says that on TSN or ESPN.
Do you think they're going to hide it?
I mean, Sports Center, whatever.
Get out of here. If he said that on anybody else, they would play it. So, again, he didn't. There's a difference between if I go on a podcast and doing somebody a favor and I say something kind of corny and I'm like, fuck, I kind of messed up. Just like we do sometimes, or I do on the intros. I'm like, let's take that out.
No, Josie knew what he was saying.
You know what he's doing. Like, you're not throwing him on the bus.
He called
him on the bus if he didn't post it.
He called him a goalie killer.
Yeah, man. And we like Bruce. He came on our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you do?
And he's done my radio show a bunch.
Yeah.
Like, highly respected, dude, in the coaching circles. Like, he's got a lot of friends in the game,
Yeah.
So.
I never heard it when I played. Honestly, I didn't hear it.
Did you hear coaches talk like that?
No, hell no.
What about
maybe a couple times, but not like, whoa. It would be so awkward. And it's awkward, just like it's awkward for a young kid to yell at the assistant coach. Like, I don't see that. And if you did, you're like, what? Like, it makes everybody like, what the fuck?
I know, for a young kid, you got to have some balls.
Like, 2 days into the game, like, you start yelling like, "Ooh!" It just makes everybody cringe. That's all. I don't know.
Imagine having that much confidence where you can just do that.
Or you're dumb
as a young kid.
Or you're dumb.
Yeah,
there could be dumb confidence, man. I used to have some of that shit.
Oh, did you?
Fuck yeah.
The dumb confidence.
So dumb.
How would you describe dumb confidence?
I'll explain it to you right now.
Okay.
Because in juniors, you're just it's just like these fucking high school kids that think they're so fucking cool coming out of high school. You haven't done shit. You're playing against little boys and you fucking think you're great and you're pumped up. You do this and all of a sudden you get to an NHL locker room with guys making $10 million and they just bring you fucking back down. Back down to level. Here you are. No. You're here, but you ain't here. You were here down in juniors. You can fucking sit on the bench and not put your helmet on. All that bullshit. You're beating up everybody. Doesn't matter. Now you're here. We're all better than you, motherfucker. Figure it out. That kind of thing.
Okay. What we call dumb confidence?
Dumb confidence.
Yeah, dumb confidence.
Yeah. It's not dumb when you're in a lower level because you're confident.
Well, you can have some confidence.
But you can't have it.
You can have some confidence when you have CarShield too.
There you go.
That you have confidence. Yeah. Because you're all good if something goes down. Hey, mention the promo code CAM. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. Mention it. You'll save how much? 10%. 10%. 800-857-2481 for CarShield and carshield.com. Bud Light Seltzer, baby. Have you tried the new lemonade?
Yeah,
it's
it
bold.
Turns me on.
It's bubbly. Does it?
It feels like I'm making out with
what does
some
it
hot
do to
blonde.
you? Is that how you?
Yeah,
is that how it
turns me
feels?
on.
Yeah,
It turns me on.
Yeah, you're not the first person that said that.
I'm like, who am I what hot
Other people
blonde
are
am I
saying
making out with right now?
even different things.
And then the mango is like, you're making out with a hot dude. So it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so the two of them, obviously, you put them side by side. It just like makes you feel better.
What are you two gonna do?
What are they up to? What's Mango up to?
Well, do something, you two.
Come on, Mango, you little bugger. That's what Brian Sutter calls Mango.
I want them to reproduce.
Brian Sutter calls Mango a little bugger.
Can there be a mango lemonade? Like, ooh. Can we watch you make that? Mango, fucking stud.
Imagine.
Is what he is. Fucking walking
Imagine
around
what they could produce. What
God.
could they produce?
What do they look like? Who in your mind, guys? I saw a couple things here and there. You said Brady, Giselle. I want to see a couple, or maybe not even a couple. Mm-hmm. Who does Mango mind you of, and who does that sexy ass lemonade? Oh, she is sexy as fuck.
Well, hey, all the other flavors, man. Don't neglect those either.
Oh, they're all sexy too.
Strawberry, black cherry, lemon, lime, baby.
Yeah. Dang
and
right.
they've got the pineapple, the cranberry, grapefruit. You know all of them. BudLight.com, unquestionably.
I watch them all reproduce.
Hey, the Keep It Handsome. You like the hats they just put on?
Hell yeah.
Dude, check out the hats. KeepItHandsome.com. They've now got Cam and Strick hats, dude. Yeah. This is breaking news, actually.
It's pretty cool.
So look for that. I don't know if it's up yet. It'll be up very, very soon. As soon as Cam follows directions and how to do this photo shoot, then the hats
shirt.
will be up.
Put a hat on.
So anyway, so check out those hats, man. People will like them. Cam and Strick, or excuse me, what is it? KeepItHandsome.com. Yep. Hey, and get all the hair products too, man. Like seriously, I was Josie Taylor.
Oh, God.
He's the next one.
God Almighty, can we take pictures of him?
He may become like brand ambassador.
I know.
For Keep It Handsome.
Perfect.
He loves it,
and they're from.
He's
Montreal.
like, dude, I know all about it. Like he's like, I know all about Keep It Handsome.
And he's like the anti-bullying.
And he's gonna fight ugly too, man.
Yeah, big time.
So a portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center. So support the cause, support Keep It Handsome. Mirko just flat out the entrepreneur. That's what we need. We need just entrepreneurs around us.
We keep them by our side.
That's right.
That's what you do. Smart people.
Like what? You're smart and you're
smart.
an entrepreneur.
Hi. Can we team up, please? Yeah, that's what you do.
Can we hang with you?
I know. I pick your brain every second. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyway, Montreal Resource Center, man. Again, supports a good cause. We're all about that anti-bullying, you know. Right. So if you're bullying, man, we fight the ugly. So get one of those hoodies too, and nothing keeps you warm. I don't even get cold. I could just wear this hoodie outside in 0-degree weather. My fight ugly hoodie. This is the warmest. It keeps me warm.
That.
It keeps me very
good.
warm.
It makes you look good. It is warm, but it's fucking like -7 degrees Fahrenheit out.
Yeah. You could use a car from
cold.
You could use a car from Bellman right now. I'll tell you that right now. Snow is on the way. No matter where you are, you could be up in Saskatchewan. You can be in Alberta, East Coast, West Coast, down in the States, man. There's snow coming everywhere right now. So anyway, get the vehicle that you need.
Fucking Knoxville, Tennessee's got 14 to 17 coming your way.
I know. You
better hope you had a.
You see that car crash in Texas?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
That's from ice. I've been in an ice storm driving through Amarillo, Texas before.
Oh my God!
And
oh God, did you see the film?
All of a sudden, you just drive right into a snowstorm in Texas. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, North Texas has like the craziest weather ever.
Do.
Dude. That's like hardcore
tornadoes and
big
stuff.
Time, man. So you get a little bit of everything in North Texas. And I don't want to get it. It's too much.
Yeah.
That fucked
it's terrible.
Me up. I watched that.
Well, you asked me if I had seen it. I said no.
I talked about my radio show, and afterwards I'm like, fuck off.
No, I don't want to get.
But it's scary
graphically. It's very scary, man. Yeah. So anyway, just drive safe, everybody out there right now, because you can't see the ice. You can't see the ice.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy. Jesus. Tell all the Canadian how to drive up there.
Did you shovel your driveway?
Fuck no.
Why?
Because I got a.
You don't have people doing it.
Blowtorch out there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you use? That comes in handy right now, doesn't it?
Look, when you're out by me, the people do it for you.
All right, so Troy, Missouri, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get that pink Jeep, small doors, 2 wheels with flames on the side, and Cam's personalized license plate. Well, what is this going to say again? What is your personalized license? Hey, you never know. Little Pinky, man.
That's sick.
So get that Escalade too.
You used to listen to him back in the day with your buddies. Hey, Little Pinky cruising around that BMW.
I don't know who that is.
A little BMW.
I was going to send you some good music from Farside the other day. A great rapper. So that's your rapper of the week. Go listen to a little bit of Farside and enjoy that. as you prepare yourself to listen to another edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast.
He probably wants to hang out with you.
Dan Bell, probably. He wants to hang out with Dan Bellman, too.
Yeah,
probably.
well, that's a different story. That's a different story.
Bellman.com. Go where you get the best service anywhere in North America. That's for damn sure over there at Bellman.com in Troy, Missouri. All right, how about Victor Hockey? VictorHockey.com, at Victor Hockey USA. On Twitter and Instagram. Check out those hats. Go to the camandstrick.com website. Hey, if you want to partner with us and become a sponsor, advertiser, or just hang out,
keep this thing moving,
whatever
baby.
you want to do.
Yeah.
Hey, hit us up. We got some inventory available. We'd love to bring you on board. Again, camandstrick.com, and buy one of those hats as well as we collaborate with our friends over there at Victor Hockey and VictorHockey.com. Drive black tie. I get more people asking me, like, what? What is this? I had a restaurant owner in St. Louis, very prominent restaurant owner, contact me and said, dude, I want all the information about this. So we just got them together. I mean, everyone's just wanting to know, what is it? What is this Drive Black Tie? Well, here's the deal. You just go to your phone, you get the app, you download the app, and then you pick which car you want. They drop it off, and then next time you want another car, you swap it out, and they come and pick it up, and then they drop off a new one.
Yeah, it's easy.
And it includes car insurance and everything. And the cars are incredible.
Yeah.
Exotic cars. I mean, you want to rent a car for a day or for a weekend, like just to impress somebody, you can do that for a week.
Cruise up to fucking Yellowstone.
Whatever, man.
You want to take the girl in a Corvette or a Maserati for a weekend.
Or a Porsche or a
Make
G-Wagon.
Look like you're rich for a weekend, and then drive your Buick. And then go back and drive that Maserati.
Or you can keep it. You can keep it for a year.
Even for a year.
Whatever you want to do. Structure it how you want it. It's kind of like car shows. Everyone's flexible.
Yeah.
That we deal with. So when I drive black tie. Got that Porsche Macan right now, and I'm loving that, dude. Even in the snow, that car is phenomenal, dude, in terms of how it drives in the snow. Cam's got the BMW X6.
Yeah.
You can get one, too. So, again, give Dylan a call, give Ellie a call, and they'll hook you up. When I drive black tie. All right, let's get to the interview. Eric Brewer, former captain of the St. Louis Blues, former Olympic gold medalist for Team Canada, represented Canada a bunch. Really interesting career and an impressive one as well. Have a listen as he joins us here at episode number 115 on the Cam and Strick Podcast.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Speak
so
to me.
embarrassing. So embarrassing.
We don't normally use my phone.
Hi, Eric.
But since you're in Canada, I stepped up. I'm paying the bill today, Brew. I'm going to send you an invoice, actually. Is that okay?
You can send me the invoice. I'm happy to help a fellow out.
I know you are. Man, it's good to hear your voice. What are you doing nowadays? You hanging out up there in BC? Before we get started, and we have gotten started, just so you know, we just hit record and we just shoot the shit, Eric. But look out the window. Do you see mountains?
Describe.
Is snow falling?
Describe the beauty, Eric.
What's going on there in BC?
You know what? We got a dry day here in Vancouver today. We've had a lot of rain. Can see the mountains close by. Kids are at school, and we're talking with you fine fellas today.
Did you go for a bike ride today?
Who's were, by the way? Somebody else connected?
I know. Is your wife on the phone too, or your daughter?
You sure you want that?
No, she's definitely not on the call with you guys.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no bike rides today. It's been a little wet. Yeah, we're just kind of one of those days, some odds and ends today until the kids get back, and we got activities after.
Like what kind of activities? So the
We
kids.
still got
what?
we got soccer today, and hockey's still going for my little one. Organized sports still goes here for elementary school kids. No games for anything. School is still in person. It's all a little bit revised, but everything's still functioning for a large part, as long as the ever-present COVID cases stay where they are or get a little less.
Yeah, well, you guys are very disciplined in Canada, I think. Like we're very undisciplined here in the U.S.
Hey, are you still an owner of Prince George? Are we talking to a WHL owner? Is that what we have here, or no?
I'm one of 6 guys who own the Prince George Cougars. We have for 5 or 6 years now, I think, maybe 6. Yeah, so there's 4 local guys from Northern BC, and then myself and Dan Andrews.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Cam, you should know that. He was asking you if it's 5 or 6 years, by the way. You should have that answer, how long he's been the owner of Prince George. And you're a BC.
I knew that he was.
You're a BC Hall of Famer, right? So they had to push back the Hall of Fame, and now you're going in next year. Any other big dogs you're going in with, Brewer? That's a pretty big accomplishment for you.
Oh, I think everybody's kind of accomplished in their own way. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's certainly a very honorable thing for BC hockey, and very thankful for it. So,
who was on
all
that?
Good.
Who? But by the way, like the dub is so different, and us OHL folk, we had 8-hour bus rides at the most. But God, Prince George, I'm trying to think. Wow, you had to take some long ass trips in the middle of nowhere, 22 hours. Like, describe that for people that kind of maybe that don't understand the difference between the OHL and the dub as far as the travel. God.
Yeah. So Prince George, where I played junior and where I'm now a co-owner, is about 9 to 10 hours straight north of Vancouver. It's level latitude with Edmonton, basically. Closest game is about between 5 and 6 hours, depending on weather. And then from there, you've got 7 hours to Kelowna. You've got 9-10 hours to Vancouver, Victoria. You got to take a ferry. It's almost a 12-hour day. And then you go down into Everett, Seattle, Spokane, Portland. Like you got some long hauls in the Western Conference up to a lot of it's weather dependent too when you're driving in the winter, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And then out east, you only go out once a year, and so you try and through the scheduling, you try and break it off so you don't go all the way from Prince George to Brandon, which, is well into the 20-hour haul probably. You'd probably stop in Saskatoon or Regina first or pick up something along the way just to take the bite off. Yeah. It's a long time to be on the bus.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I could handle that.
I don't know, man.
We didn't have that at Parkway North when I played high school hockey. We didn't have to. We had to 15-minute bus rides.
People care about your Parkway North career.
Hey, but you know what? People care about.
Well, you don't.
But go ahead.
The good thing is you don't know any better out west. You don't know any better, right? So you get there when you're 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And typically, like if you're not from the Vancouver, the major cities out west, you're Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, you're used to some form of travel.
Yeah.
It's not unusual to be playing hockey when you're 6-7 years old and have an hour drive somewhere.
I know. It's got to be some nice drives too. I mean, driving through the hills of BC, man, it's got to be nice. But let me ask you that, Brew. People may not realize or remember, how accomplished of a hockey player you were, man. Even going back to when you were a kid. You were an absolute stud, complete phenom, coming out of Prince George. So many things I want to get into about your hockey career, but you played junior with Big Z, Zdeno Chara, and I think you played in the NHL with him too. Correct me if I'm wrong there for a short stint with the Islanders. How good was this guy in junior? Was he just towering over everybody? And did you see him moving on to have the type of career that he's had?
Well, he was always very good. He certainly wasn't what he has been in the National Hockey League, but he's an amazing athlete and he's an incredibly dedicated human being. And so comes from, his dad was an Olympic wrestler, very athletic family. And he's got an appetite to train like few others. And so you end up with this guy who moves out, can barely speak English, but wants to play hockey and hang with the guys. And he just came there, and he was, he's a large human being then. And he certainly tossed a few guys around. There's no question about that. But as you know, he's a bit more than that. And he just stuck with it, and he just took off. And he's a great guy. He's super quiet in a lot of ways, but a great guy. Well, awesome career, just fantastic career.
Yeah, he knocked a couple guys out bad in juniors too. If you go on there and see, a couple guys challenged him, a couple tough guys I remember seeing on YouTube, and he just kind of go toe to toe with you and just get that reach. And once you buckle a couple guys, now you got your little bit more room, and then you kind of put it all together. That guy's an absolute freak. But what?
Yeah. Everybody, and back then, it was a different game too, right? It was not. It was a much more physical league, and guys guys challenged him for sure. Yeah.
He put him down.
Yeah.
I mean, see ya. Like, he hurt, and he wasn't like he didn't. I don't think he wanted to do it, but like if you push and shove, like he's gonna knock you out with a punch. But you were a 5th overall pick to the Rangers, which is pretty crazy to think about, man. You're the Big Apple, and you get that.
Was it the Islanders or the Rangers? I don't know.
Islanders.
God damn it, my notes.
Oh my God, that's the first one there, bro.
Fuck. I fucked that up, but you did get $1 million signing bonus. That's whenever that's whenever they're signing and then throwing you $1 million, man. How was that, dude? I remember playing juniors and Steve Ott had that $1 million signing bonus, Jason Spezza, and you get that right off the bat. God, what'd you do with that money? And I mean, like, describe that feeling with the Rangers. I'm joking, the Islanders.
So I got drafted, and then I played another year before I signed, and so it was the summer between finishing junior and playing in New York when I was 19. And so really being a small town kid, no concept of it. Zero. We had no sniff. I remember sitting with my parents at our kitchen table being like, we're going over kind of what the contract is. My longtime agent's walking us through it. And you're like, and it was just like, well, wow, are we in a different world? And so I think they had fronted me a few $1,000, and I bought some CDs and some sunglasses, and I was like, man, I need to slow this down here. I don't want to waste it all. Like that's the kind of headspace you had back then. And I remember, I think I bought like 20 or 25 CDs. I just couldn't believe my luck. A new pair of shades, and like, calm your jets, man. Calm your jets. Don't get greedy, whatever.
Jeez. If you bought 25 CDs with your $1 million sign, what did you do when you were making $3-4 million a year then, bro? How many
28 CDs.
How many CDs were you buying then? Slow it down.
MP3 player.
Taking Cam out for dinner.
Did he ever pay?
I racked the bill up I beat the pot hardcore.
Hey, listen, you can go ahead and give it to Cam right now.
Cam wasn't shy to beat the pot.
I did.
7 different drinks at a meal.
How many before the meal?
No, he was good. We, it was the dinner stuff is fun. I miss that stuff. There's some good laughs to be had there. Some good laughs.
Okay, I want your honest opinion. Like, you're a young kid, you get to the island, and like you're learning your way through the NHL. And Mike Milbury's your coach. Like, what was he like as a coach, Brew? Because I know you have an opinion on this, good or bad.
He was an intense guy. Been around a long time. I had some interesting conversations. Some better than others, but I think that was the environment that we were in back then, and I was really excited to be there, and we had some good older guys to be around. So he was good. I wasn't there for too long, so it wasn't like my second year. Butch Goring was the coach, and then Mike was just the GM. So that first year we were one of the first teams. We had like 6 coaches or something. We had a coach for everything. He was one of the first to implement like special teams coaching, and we got a goalie coach, and then we had coaches for all kinds of stuff. It was a very eye-opening experience, to say the least, coming from Prince George to Long Island.
No, I bet. I mean, but they draft you 5th overall. You're obviously a big part of the future, and I mean, they had other guys, man. I mean, we mentioned Chara, who didn't last there very long. Luongo didn't last there very long. Like, why didn't you last in New York? Like, what was the story there? Did you not get along with Butch Goring? Is that accurate, or what was the story between you two?
I got along fine with Butch. I think I didn't have a great second year. Spent a little bit of time in the minors. They were in transition. I think we'd had an ownership change, which is always a bit of a challenge. I think we'd gotten young and maybe a bit too young for what the league was at the time. And so I think by the end of the year, they wanted to get a few older guys, and they had a lot of us younger guys there. And so I think they just started making some trades, got a bit older, and probably got a little bit better in the short term.
All right, so
it worked out great for me, honestly. Moving to Edmonton might have been one of the better things that happened to me in hockey. It was the right fit at the right time for me, and the environment was awesome for a young D-man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Especially for a Canadian kid to go to Edmonton, and he had a bunch of veteran guys around there, man. We've had Ryan Smith on the podcast. He had some other guys to learn from, Brew, but you probably didn't know it at the time, but when did it click in, man, that this was going to be a good fit for you and a good home for you to really establish yourself as a top young defenseman in the National Hockey League?
Oh, right away. Right away. There was just, as soon as I was there, like, you could just feel the difference. Kevin Lowe was the GM. Craig McTavish was the coach. Charlie Huddy was there. Billy Morris. And I had those guys the whole time I was there. Like, there was a lot of stability with those guys. Like, they were hard, but they were fair. Like, they understood what it was like to be a young guy in the league. They worked us hard. But like, they just had real good, like Matthew had good tact with things. And Charlie's one of these fantastic D coaches. He's been around forever, but just really gets it. He played 20 years in the National League. And I mean, you think about the back ends that he's coached in his now probably 20 years coaching in the league. Like, there's a guy to have a conversation with. He's a fantastic human being. And they were good to me.
Give me some names. Give me some names he coached. Give me some names he coached. You talking about from Edmonton or all over?
Well, just I had Charlie there, and then like he's been good with back ends everywhere he's gone. Like, everybody likes him. If you talk to anybody who's had him, and he's always somewhere for a long time. The D love this guy.
Yeah, and then you play on the Olympics in 2002. Like, that had to be intimidating for you a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you had represented, Canada before in other tournaments, but this is different. This is you surrounded by all these Hall of Famers, and it's the Olympics. It's not the World Juniors. It's not the World Cup or the World Championships. Were you comfortable?
Did you sit in front of the bus?
Brew, did you feel like you belonged right off the bat? Like, who made you most feel most comfortable of all the guys that you played with on that team?
Well, I mean, first off, I had no expectation of making the team. I went to the development camp in the summer. I mean, this is a perfect example of right time, right place. So I go to Edmonton. We lose out in the first round to Dallas. I go to the World Championships. I play at the World Championships. We're on the big ice. I covered a lot of ice, skated reasonably well. And so they have this development camp in the summer. Kevin Lowe's on the crew. So want to get a couple young guys in the mix. So I get to go to this camp, and must have put the bug in there a little bit. Had a good start the following year, and boom! Again, I'm 21, 22, whatever it was. No expectation of it, right? And all of a sudden you're on the team. You're like, holy shit! Like that, this is real. And then you look at the list of players on the team, and you're like there's a lot of Hall of Famers on that team, and there's a lot of Hall of Famers on that team before they're named Hall of Famers. Like, they are, and they're all awesome. Like, they're all real easy to be around, and like very inclusive and just very casual, and but all very confidently good. Like, just a quiet kind of, like, they know they're good. They know they're real good.
Yeah. And
they're just going to get shit done.
Just go do it. Who's your room? Did you guys have roommates? Yeah, you had roommates. That's 02. Who's your roommate?
Yeah, they put me and Jovo and Smitty together in a room.
Wait,
it was
three.
We had some good laughs. It was funny.
Three you guys in a room?
Yeah.
Where they have who had the cot?
This is like in the Olympic Village, isn't it? Aren't you in the Olympic Village?
Yeah. How's that set up? Like, what do you mean? Like, so just you had the room, 3 beds in there?
Well, in the Olympic Village, they had different. In the Canada House, they had different rooms and setups and whatever, and they just said, "Here, you 3 are in here," and I'm like, "Okay."
Go, okie
All
dokie.
good.
Where? Okay, there. Nice.
Like, I'm not going to say nothing. Like, I'm just like, hey, you want to practice? Let's practice. What are we doing? I'll do anything. I'll do the heavy lifting. You want me to run around here like a buffoon? I'll do it.
Yep.
Let's do it. I'll help with whatever you want. And so I was really fired up to be there. Like, it's an awesome environment to be in. Like, the amount of high functioning humans and like the buzz. And it was just after 9/11 too, so it was the timing of it couldn't have been better considering what had gone on in New York City, and it was back in the U.S. It was awesome, the only unfortunate thing is he couldn't watch a lot of the events outside of playing just because the security was so big, so severe. You just couldn't get anywhere fast. It took hours to get anywhere.
Remind our listeners of some of the players that were on that team. I mean, because besides Pronger and McInnes here locally, I mean, you had a bunch of like big dogs, like historic names who played on that team.
Well, so on the back end you had Al and Prongs. We had Adam Foote, Rob Blake, Jovo, Scott Niedermeyer. We had Mario up front. We had Steve Yzerman. You had Paul Correa. You had Joe Sakic, Brennan Shanahan. And I'm a disservice here. I'm just kind of drawing a blank. We had Joe Newendike. We had Jerome McGinley. Ryan Smith. Simone Gagne was there.
Who was loud in the locker room, bro? Like, who was a guy that kind of like was loud, that was kind of the ringleader? Maybe he didn't wear the C, but was like the ringleader in the locker room.
I think
besides you,
there was just an understanding. Like Mario didn't really talk a lot, but he had big presence. Like he had this air about him. He was really quite easy to be around. But like he's a very talented human being. Like when he's on the ice, you're like, okay, he's just better. It's just understood.
Yeah, I know. And he looks different than everybody else.
So Steve Yzerman was great. Like Rob Blake was great. Al was great. Like they are just so easy to be around. And like I remember Steve Yzerman sat beside me after one of the games early. We weren't playing that great, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about the game, man?" We just kind of went over it. I'm thinking, like he truly is interested in what I'm saying to get a feel for what the room is and for like what I feel on the back end versus him up front. Because most of the guys, you're playing Olympic rules at that time, and most of the guys weren't playing world championships, and they're too busy trying to win cups, right? And so, with the red line gone, it was such a big change of being on the big ice again. And so he was, like the other guys, just trying to get a feel, like what are some things we got to consider, and how'd you feel, and blah blah blah. And I just thought that was like. Yeah, I'm like, should I even say anything or like? But like it was very authentic. It was very easy to be around. Rob Blake, same thing. Like, I'd rotate some shifts with him and Al, and they were both like, hey, you get some time to go, you just go. That's it. Like, don't overthink it. Just do it. And you're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna. That's what you want. I can do that.
Yep.
And so you get into that line of thinking with these world class players, and it's a pretty good feeling to have.
Did Yzerman trade for you? Like, was he the GM in Tampa Bay when you got traded from St. Louis? Or he signed you to a contract or something?
He was.
Yeah, see, it was that conversation, Brew. It was that conversation on the bench, and he's like, I remember talking to this kid. We're bringing him on board.
Listened.
You see? He knew what you were saying back then.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily what it was. I think there's maybe a couple things that fit the picture a bit more. I mean, that was probably 10 years later.
He didn't remember. Never mind, Brew. He didn't remember you.
Whatever you said, Brew, it stuck with him. Just go along with the question, okay? It stuck with him. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. But here's a question, though, for you. Like, playing on that Olympic team, like all these future Hall of Famers, like you said, and you were so young, Brew, did it set the bar for the rest of your career a little bit too high? Like, did people all of a sudden expect you to be maybe even better than you were capable of being? Like, was it unfair because you always had this attachment to being on that team? Or did you never look at it that way?
No, I think you need to set your sights high. Like, don't be mediocre. It's not a good headspace. It's certainly not for me. I knew what I was and what I wasn't. And so I don't think it put any undue pressure on me other than what I felt I should be what level I should be playing at. But, you know, like you're looking at some of the guys you're playing with, you know, are you really gonna suggest you're in that league? I don't know. I think it's a bit of a tall ask. It's not you know, you got to be good in your own shoes. You got to be comfortable with where you want to take your game and be a little bit honest with yourself and just get there, try and get to a level that you want. I don't know. Do you ever really get to a level you want though?
I like being mediocre. I don't know about you.
Cam doesn't know any different.
I think he does. I just don't think he's going to admit it on this call. Maybe when we press click and recall back, we can have a real conversation with some real answers.
Hey, when you got moved to St. Louis though, like, was that a complete shock for you to get traded? Like, I know you had been traded before, but now you're an established player, Olympics and everything like I'm talking about, and now you're coming to St. Louis for Chris Pronger. Was that uncomfortable for you, Brew? And did it take you a while to get comfortable once you got here?
I wouldn't say I was shocked. I mean, I'd been traded once before, so you have it in your head that it can happen again. And then when it did happen, I certainly wasn't doing cartwheels at the time. I really liked where I was and thought I could help out. It was a bit challenging at the start. Like, I was like, wow, like I thought we were kind of getting somewhere there. And then I totally understand. Like, I had a call with Kevin about it after, and he was really awesome about it. And so, you know, that's just the way it goes. We got there and we did not have a great year that first year. I think the ownership change was just in effect. And then the new CBA came into effect. And so not only did the team trade Prongs for myself and a couple of young guys, but Al had gotten that eye injury the year before, right?
Yep.
So he never ended up coming back. Joel Quenville was let go the year before, who was a big part of that group. Scott Milbury didn't come back. Pavel Demitra didn't come back. Walt got hurt and Dougie got hurt the same year too. Like, there were just so many things that snowballed along with the trade that it just was really hard. It was a really hard start with coming out of the CBA.
Yeah, man. God. I mean, it was. I think it was a shock.
I mean, people forget how much change had happened in that year, like the shuffling of players and some of the challenges the teams were under. Because, you know, St. Louis had an incredible run of years, and with no salary cap back then, like it was them, Dallas, Detroit, the Rangers, like they were, you know, high salary teams, and like they were good, real good, and so it's really hard to take, you know, I would suggest thousands of NHL games experience and replace it with the guys who had very little, and I think everyone was used to that there, and I think it was a tough go.
Yeah, man, it was
a big change.
It was a big change, and it was a change for a lot of people because the fan base too, man. You mentioned it. Like, I remember it very well, just, you know, because Chris Pronger, he was, you know, such an iconic figure here in St. Louis, and now they're moving on from him. And I mean, let's face it, Brew, you were brought in to replace Chris Pronger. I mean, and I don't know how fair that is when you talk about a player of his, you know, stature. So, like, I'm curious, when you get traded for, you know, a big time player like that, is there pressure, man? Do you feel the pressure? Do you feel like you're there to replace him, or do you not look at that or look at it like that as an athlete?
Well, to a certain extent, you are, because you're filling the minutes. You know, I think for me, I just really wanted to play well, and I wanted to, you know, at no point was like, I'm going to replace this guy. It's just not going to happen. Did I want to play real well, and did I just want to shoot the lights out? Absolutely. Totally did. You know, and wanted to be good, just good for the team, good for the guys, and just see kind of where it took us. Because we're all coming out, there's new rules. Guys are changing teams like crazy. We hadn't played for a year, and you're like, how's this gonna go? How am I gonna feel? Like, we got to just want to get ripping again here. And so, you get going on it, and it just wasn't a great year all around. And, but there was lots to like about St. Louis, there's lots to like. And so we stuck with it, and a large portion of our time in St. Louis was amazing, quite honestly.
We still had a fun time, though, Brew.
Mike Kitchen was the coach back then. It was so crazy.
Back then, it's a different story. Yeah. I remember coming playing. There's 13,000 people there. Like, it's tough. Like,
not even.
But not even's right. But when
it was tough there.
It was tough for a real long time. For about 3 years actually, and then it kind of came. Then you get the young kids coming in. You're the leader of that group. I mean, it was still a fun team. The 08-09 year where Osh was just gigantic. But you had your hands full in that locker room, though, Brew, with some of us. So you had some young kids. There were a lot of popularity. Osh was so goddamn popular. His buddies are in town. Like, God, there was a lot of shit to juggle for you. And the fans were hardcore as well. I mean, they could describe it. Was there a breaking point ever for you?
No, I loved being around. I loved being in the room, loved being the guys, loved being in the mix. This is just the way it is, man. Like, you're playing in the greatest league in the world, and it's just a privilege every day to do it. And so, were there some days where I was like, man, like really, this is what we're dealing with today, for sure. But I love being around the guys. I love being in the room, and you can't have everybody be the same. Yeah. That's painful. You need some different guys doing different things, and I didn't have too many conversations with guys. Like, I never felt like a policeman. I never wanted to be a nag or anything. I mean, there was a few times where I was like, okay, boys, that's enough. That shit's gonna stop.
In the elevator,
but
in the elevator in San, or no, in where were we at? We're in San Jose. I'll bring it up. Sorry to cut you off, but I will bring it. You did have a talk with me one time when I think Kinger and I kind of, we had the rookie party out there, Brew. I mean, you had a bunch of young kids. You had both Kinger and I think you gave me a little sit down in the elevator. I do remember that, and you kind of smacked me around a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I did kind of fuck that up, didn't I?
You needed it.
I needed it.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't think anybody was ever intentional with stuff, but I always had good older guys around me, and they were, the guys who had good tact, kind of picked their spots and understood kind of where guys were coming from. And every now and then, they would bring something up, and I hope that it was the same in return. For me, if I had a couple suggestions, I do remember that time specific. And it was definitely warranted.
I thought I was dreaming.
Okay,
I swear to God, he fucking did it.
Hold on, Brew. I want to hear your side of it.
We'll just leave it at that. No, we'll just leave it at that. That one was warranted for sure.
I love it. I love it.
Still harmless.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think Jance and I got along real well. So it was. We had a couple laughs about it after. Maybe not as funny at the time, but. Good times at the end of the day for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey man, but you went through some crazy injury here, like your back injury. You had nerve damage. I remember talking to you all the time, trying to check in, seeing how you're doing, and you had nerve damage going down your leg. Like you couldn't even feel your leg. Like you went through a long period of time of rehab and recovery and just trying to get right again. Were you ever truly right here in St. Louis?
I don't. Well. I'd be lying to say that I was the same after the back injury, after the two surgeries, because I wasn't. But, you're playing pro sports. You're going to get hurt. We're a full contact sport with boards. You're going to get hurt. And so that is part of the beast of being a pro athlete is managing health and staying healthy. And, shit happens sometimes. There's no rhyme or reason for it, Some guys get dumb luck. Some guys get average luck. Some guys get nothing but luck. And that's just the way it is. Trying to figure that shit out in your head is never going to help. And so you just make do with the best you can. And I worked hard to be healthy and just play as well as I could. And, I would have preferred not to have been that long, but, in the process, I learned a lot about, managing health and and staying on task, and that's what it is. And then I still get to play a long time after, in the greatest league in the world. So for that, I was super, super thankful.
How are you feeling now, though? How's that back, and how's the numbness? Like, did the numbness ever go away?
I don't think it's ever really gone. It's less. You're not traveling and playing games every night. I manage it like it's something you got to stay on. So, I'm fairly active. Certainly not what I was, but it's fine as long as I do a little bit of work and don't act like a complete idiot and pretend I'm something I'm not. I'll be fine.
Define complete idiot, though, because I just explain that. What do you mean by that? No, I'm just saying Can you hit a goal? Go ahead.
Don't act like Cam.
You want to go in the gym and am I going to go and be a CrossFit athlete? I'm not.
Okay.
I would explode if I was to try and do that. But can I do enough work to go ski some big days or do some mountain bike days? Or if my kids just up and decide to sprint down the road, can I run after them without tearing a hammy or something? No problem. So that's kind of a thing for me is if I'm with somebody, I don't say no. If they want to do something physical, I don't say no. Unless, of course, I'm not a big road cyclist. That's a big thing here in Vancouver. And so I don't really want to sit in a bike in spandex for 5 hours. It's just not my thing.
I don't like it anyway, Brew. I almost hit them. Look, and they do it on stupid-ass roads.
You might actually like that. You might just like the outfit.
Well, I'll just wear the outfit. I'll wear the outfit. Never mind the bike.
Hey, yeah, he tries to wear that to the podcast, just wears the bike shorts.
Yes.
It's really...
We need a female audience
It's
on
really
board.
disturbing to look at that, bro.
Hey, tell me about it, but it will be tight. If I know Jan, it will be tight.
It will be tight, especially now at 2:30.
All right. Hey, let's talk about the new Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy-drinking, hard seltzer that comes in 4 delicious fruit flavors. Black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and Cam's favorite, mango.
Oh,
With
mango.
only 100 calories, 5% alcohol, and less than a gram of sugar, you might as well have a few tonight or this weekend. Go to BudLight.com to buy Bud Light Seltzer online. Must be 21 years of age or older. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview. Where are you at, Brew? Are you in good shape still? Are you skinny?
Yeah, I'm skinny for define skinny. I lift the dumbbells. I don't eat the dumbbells.
Yes.
Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
I think if you saw me, I don't think you would notice a whole lot of difference. Maybe a little bit thinner, obviously not skating as much. I think that's the biggest thing. Your legs kind of shrink a bit because you're not on the ice every day.
Okay, let's talk about you becoming captain of the St. Louis Blues. And let's be honest, I think the fan base was a little bit surprised that they chose you as the captain. I mean, I think people inside the room weren't surprised. I think people inside the room like obviously had a ton of respect for you, and you were a veteran guy, and made a good choice for captain. Like, how did that come about? Did Andy Murray, John Davidson, did they call you and say, hey, what do you think? Were you completely blown away and surprised? Or was it not that big of a transition for you to maybe a way it looked from the outside?
Andy pulled me aside a day or two before they announced it and just kind of walked me through, and I had no idea. And I was like, hey, you just make sure that you talk to the veterans on the team and just make sure that it is what it is where it needs to be. Whether you do this or don't do this, it's not going to change the way I play, the things I say, really anything. And so I just want you to understand that. And I'm still for the guys and will always be pro player. So, as long as you're good with that, I'll do whatever I just want to help the guys out. So, but I was just completely blown away. I was kind of spitting marbles a little bit, holy shit, that's one of the greatest things ever. And I didn't really fully comprehend it until I was probably driving home that day, or I got home and told my wife or whatever, and I was like, oh man, that is just an unbelievable acknowledgement, and one of the prouder days I've had. It was just a really great day.
Wow.
And I think, it was pretty awesome, and it was and the guys were pretty excited too, which was like the bigger win, quite honestly. So that was a good headspace for me. Like I was always that mattered a lot to me. I didn't necessarily need to be, best friends with every single guy in the whole world, but to know that there was some acknowledgement. Hey, like if shit hit the fan, like I was a guy that they would consider calling or asking for advice or just watching for. Most real good leaders, they just do stuff, and you just see what they do, and it just speaks so much. So encompassing all those things, I was like, man, this is pretty awesome.
Were you ever uncomfortable with it? Like, was that ever creep into your mind?
Never. No. It was always for the guys, and just being a representative of the team. And I worked hard at trying to be a good example and kind of knowing where my strengths were and staying within that. I don't think I overreached. I'm sure there was a time or two I probably did, but I tried hard not to overreach. Tried to make sure everybody was involved and the right conversations were had when they were needed.
You weren't uncomfortable when you came around the net that one time and it came on one leg and almost fell, and it came on the other leg and almost fell.
Is that?
Remember?
Maybe I saw you not on the wall where you're supposed to be.
I made that happen.
Were you on the ice?
I don't know. Probably.
No.
Oh God, Andy Murray.
Oh
God, that was so funny. Sorry, I had to throw that because you were too dead serious on that, and I had to throw that in our brew, man. But yeah, we had a good time, dude. It was a weird spot. Like you had to come crawl to that hole where there's 10,000 people. You get the captaincy. You traded for Prongs. Like then you go to Tampa Bay and you play well, do your thing, and kind of regroup. And do you have a place down in Tampa, by the way? Do you like it down there?
We liked it. It was good. It was good. Like, our goal was to stay in St. Louis. Like, we knew we were kind of on the way there. Like, it'd been the first few years where we're like, okay, like, where are we? It was, you're trying to see it and you're trying to play well. And then at the end, you're like, okay, we're turning the corner here. Like, it's coming. And so it's just a matter of, I think that last year was like, the young guys were just starting to get some games, and you're like, man, just don't get an injury streak. We just need to get in the playoffs, and like so much just going to sort out. And then we just got some injuries and just couldn't get in there. And then we were off, unfortunately, but it turned out great. Like Tampa was a great spot to be. Like they were, a lot of firepower, some Stanley Cup experience, some Stanley Cup winners there. It was good. It was a good fit, and I really enjoyed it. They treat us really awesome there.
Yeah, I think right when you got there, you guys went to the conference final, something like that. And you guys played that crazy system under Guy Boucher. And I remember asking you, Brew, you may not even remember it. I was like, what do you call that? And you said, I don't know. I think I play punt returner.
When I first got there, because we didn't play the Eastern Conference that much, right? I think we played Tampa like a week or two before. And so you're like, kind of, what are they doing? I didn't really think much of it because I didn't really play against them again. And then when I got there and they're like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And he's kind of going over it. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, man. Like, I'll do whatever you want. And then you're out there and you're just like, and teams were so frustrated with it. And they'd take penalties, and then our penalty kill or power play was just on fire. And you're like, it just kind of was this revolving environment of frustrated teams and then power plays. And you're like, and just like, okay. And you just got, and then Rolly was playing real well. And it just kind of got rolling, literally. And we just got going. So you're like, okay, I guess this is going to work for now. Long term, it didn't, but for a block of time it did.
No, it did. Yeah, it wasn't for long term. But then they bring in John Cooper. Like, what were your first impressions of him? Like, did you think that he'd go on to have as much success as he's had?
Well, the way he wanted to play was very different. But he knew where he wanted to go with it, and it was a matter of time, much like St. Louis, where like you got to get some of these guys in the lineup and get them playing and grow the team a little bit. And I think they did. They had a run of drafting and signing some fantastic players, right? And so he just got some real horses to work with, and coupled with the style of play that fit that group really well. And like Steve and Julian did a great job keeping everybody together and making the right changes. And they are a good team. They are very good.
Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with 2 N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. I want to go back to St. Louis, though. A couple more questions, though, about that. Andy Murray, like, did you get along with playing for Andy? Like, I always felt like you guys had a really good relationship. And then Davis Payne comes in. Like, and again, you're the captain of the team. Like, what was that experience like when he took over?
Yeah, I liked Andy a lot. Him and I got along well. He played me a lot. We played some decent hockey for Andy. Very technical guy. He was a good fit for us when we needed it, especially with the young guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the details of the game. It was a good fit. We got into a bit of a rut there at the end, and Davis was brought in, and it went okay initially. I think it was a bit of it was different than Andy. There were two different personalities, and it took a little bit to get going. But no, it was good. It just the evolution of the team. The team needed some time. The young guys needed some time to play, and you just kind of needed to manage through that stuff. And so that's what happened. And I didn't have Painter a really long time. Not enough time to really expand it too much, but at the end of the time, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting time, man. I mean,
it was very bizarre.
In St. Louis hockey,
it
for
was.
sure. All right, so then you end up bouncing around a little bit, but to play your 1,000th game in Toronto and to reach that milestone, how important was that for you? And I mean, a hell of a tribute. Like, Toronto, is there a better place?
I know, just to sign off.
Than to play your 1,000th game than in Toronto. They gave you the best tribute video in the history of the league. I think I've never seen one better. You're the
Wendell Clark.
You were the 300th player to ever reach the milestone, and Wendell Clark comes on the ice, and he's the one who gives you the silver stick.
God.
You're a household name there, Brew.
No shit. You can sign autographs for $100,000.
I would suggest that's not the case, but growing up, I was very much a hockey nerd, and so the original 6 teams always had this mystique to them, and so you never really understand it until you get the opportunity to be there. It was very real. I just remembered when I got there, I was just like, oh wow, okay, this is going to happen. This is kind of exciting. We weren't necessarily doing that great, but you never know how things can change, and some positivity does a lot of things, and it was really quite awesome. Just the feeling, and the amount of fans, Maple Leaf fans around the National Hockey League is unbelievable. Tuesday night, I think we were in Columbus. There's grown men with their face painted with a Maple Leaf on there, standing outside the hotel, fired up about the game. Yeah. Really, really fired up. And so, there's generations of Toronto fans out there, and they treated me like crazy good. It was really awesome. And the 1,000th game is a big marker, obviously, as Jance knows. You got to play a lot of years, and you're going to battle through some stuff. And, yeah, it's almost a big shout out to everybody else who helps you as much as it is for the individual. There's so much help that is needed and so many people who believe in you. So it's as much for them too. It's just kind of an incredible acknowledgement.
Yeah.
The NHL, the league that just keeps on giving, man.
They do.
It's a great place to be.
I know.
The gift that keeps
on
giving.
How nice is that Rolex you got? Are you wearing it right now?
He sold that mug.
I did not. No, I don't have it on just yet, but very thankful for the guys. They were good.
Hey, Cam just hit his 1,000th alumni skate.
I did. Still the leading scorer. Are we ever going to see you out here, Brewer? I know we got to let you go, but are you ever going to come out and hang with the guys, man? We got a beautiful rink. I lead the team. It's all good.
Once your buddy COVID leaves, I'd love to come.
Great friend of mine.
Hang out with some of the old boys there in St. Louis.
Yeah,
fantastic alumni. What a great group of guys you got there, Jance.
Yeah.
You're kind of spoiled, huh?
Yeah, we're very spoiled. A little bit spoiled here, but we want to share that with you too, buddy. So come on, when COVID's gone, he'll be out of here pretty soon. I get it, man, but come on down, dude. We miss you, buddy.
Are you looking to get back into hockey? Like, bro, you're too smart, you're too methodical, you're too analytical to just be hanging out, with all the soccer moms. No offense to the soccer moms at soccer practice.
I mean, I'll do that for you.
I think it's great, but I think you need to get back in the league, Brew.
I'm not sure. I miss the National Hockey League for sure. I miss the guys. I miss the trainers. I miss, being in the environment. I've been pretty lucky to get as much time with my kids as I have this last handful of years. So I certainly wouldn't trade that. I would consider something. I don't think I should wait too much longer if I want to do it. You don't want to get too far out of it to whatever. I'm not sure if I'm prepared to travel a ton to really do a job properly. Yeah. But I'm not ruling it out. I do miss it.
Do you skate?
Travels a bit.
Do you watch hockey? Are you pretty in tune with what's going on?
I watch more junior hockey for obvious reasons. I coach my young ones team. My level of ability has dramatically dropped. I don't skate outside of the coaching, but I miss. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily miss. I don't really want to play beer league, to be honest with you. I guess is what it boils down to.
Sure you do. You could be on the grade team.
You know what? I wouldn't mind skating around Jance a few more times. That was always kind of fun.
Well, you're certainly able to do that if you come out here, man. But yeah, man, we got a guy.
You could give me a tape to taper like you always used to do.
Yeah, but vice versa.
Wait, what would he give you?
Tape to taper.
Oh, a tape to taper.
I'd give it back to him when he gave it to me on the red line because I didn't want the puck. So I give it back so he just start all over again.
I thought he said a case of something.
Yeah, the old. Hey, Brew, if I'm on the ice, throw it in the corner so I can go run somebody over.
That's how
I got that one a few times for sure.
Yeah, he did. We did a good job of that, by the way.
Especially at home.
Man, appreciate you coming on, though, Brew, dude. Yeah. And we do want to see you, man. But enjoy yourself and stay safe out there, dude.
Hey, and thanks for yelling at Cam.
Yeah. Thanks for you're right.
He and Danny Heino had, I think they got on your nerves once or twice at a Halloween party or something.
Yeah,
also.
I get on people. It was a weird time for me. I was living two different lives playing at home there, man. It was crazy, crazy talk.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the guys. We had a good run of teammates there, man. It was pretty awesome, I must say. It was a good run of teammates.
Well, it was entertaining nonetheless. Yeah. Brew, take care of yourself, buddy. Nice talking to you, man.
Thanks, Brew.
All right, boys. Yeah, take care. Stay safe, guys.
Okay. Right on, dude. Later.
That was Eric Brewer. I mean, he was like your coach. He wasn't the coach, but, you got in trouble with Eric Brewer all the time, it sounds like.
Not all the fucking time.
Well, a couple times.
He yelled at me.
He had to set you straight. You were a little intimidated. You were a little scared of Brew.
No, I just never.
You thought he may beat you up in practice. I know what you were worried about.
Yeah, right.
You ever get in a fight in practice?
Yeah.
Did you?
Absolutely.
Like drop the gloves?
Oh God, yeah.
In the NHL. Cam always thinks I'm asking him about when he's 12 years old. He'll be like, when I was in 6th grade, I fought Conrad or whatever his name is. What's the guy's name? Pete on you?
Oh, Raven.
I fought Raven.
Motherfucker. Pissed all over me.
Okay.
But yeah, I fought in American League. I fought Brett Kuche. He pissed me off.
What do you do?
At it. We're just practicing.
Doesn't sound like, is he tough or no?
Yeah, I mean, 6'6".
Oh, wow.
Throws both. He was heavy in the OHL for a while. He's second round pick.
So was he coming after you, trying to like?
No, well, I was taking his job.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and he was older than you.
Yeah,
older than you.
Yeah. So
how'd you do in that fight?
It was just we. I don't remember. I think Skurley jumped in there. Rob Skurlek jumped in.
What a shocker that you don't remember. You don't remember anything. I could talk to you about something, and then the next day you'd be like, "What? I don't remember talking about."
I did a lot of cool things, Andy. What do you want me to say?
So that was it. Nothing in the NHL.
I think God damn. Yeah.
I remember watching Backus and Tarasenko go at it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sanford and Bortuzzo. That's the most famous one.
I hated that one.
Then the team came to. I didn't like that at all. I was like, God, that was tough to watch. I mean, you talk about like other things that are tough to watch.
You heard what I said about it. I hated it because that was the most angry and the most devastating Robert Bortuzzo's ever hit anybody ever in any of his fights. And you do it against a kid that didn't even drop his gloves, never fought before in his life, and he's your teammate. So I'm like, if you're going toe-to-toe and you punch a guy harder than anybody else.
Do it in the game.
I've never seen you be so angry in a fight in your whole career, and then you do it to little Zachy Sanford, little Zachy who just got back from an injury. His dad died, and he's the one that pissed you off? Not that really matters, but it's like he's the one that you're that angry about. But you know what he did? I called him out in the radio and St. Louis media. And then the next day, he goes buckets off with Tom Wilson.
He did.
Yes. And he went toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Like, okay. There you go.
I like Bortz.
Like, okay.
Bortz,
I do too.
Bortz is more of a throwback. Like he really
like him
is.
Too. I do too. I just didn't like that.
In today's standards, no, I didn't like that at all either. Yeah. I remember talking about it at length too, man.
I know.
Like I was not a big fan of it, and I know like there's always a feeling, well, these things happen in NHL practices. I get that. I get it.
He's
but
he's just.
But I mean, then the Blues go on to win the Stanley Cup. It's the craziest thing.
It's the weirdest thing.
And like they're like good buddies, you know that. So I do believe like when players say like just like you're saying, man. I mean, stuff does happen. It gets to a point you're losing a lot of games and like.
Andy, I almost beat you up the other day, and we don't even skate.
Oh my God.
I mean, seriously though, you work with people your whole life, and you're getting pissed, and all of a sudden they stick you in practice.
I think I could handle you if I really because you know how you get like a trigger, like you go crazy. I think I could get to that point against you if I needed to. Like if you broke in my house or something like that. Okay,
right now you're not even mocking me. You're mocking the audience.
Like if you tried to break in my house,
the audience is listening. Like he's trying to piss me off. He's trying to piss me. They know what's going on.
But give me one memory of Brew, though. Like, give me something. Like, you hear the interview now. Like, what do you make out of it? What kind of impression does he leave on you?
He made a lot of money, man. And he could go do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, it's just so here's the point. Yeah, you took a beating in St. Louis, but who gives a shit? You got Kine. You're fine. You're like, well, maybe he doesn't want to come back to St. Louis because what? Somebody might chirp him somewhere. Yeah, right. Who cares? You got 40 in the bank. Like, you should be happy. Okay, your career's up and down. Nothing really bad happened. You had bad injuries, but you never got addicted. Your head's been okay. You made your money. You got a kid family.
Pretty bad. He had a real bad back injury.
But your head's okay though, right?
Right, but like his like legs went numb.
Yeah, I know, and that's fine.
Couldn't feel his legs.
And we've all had like weird things like that. Mm-hmm. But when your head's okay,
I've never had that. I've never had that back injury. You know,
well, you haven't done anything.
I didn't
have done anything. Why is your back in a hurt? From writing reports down?
Look at that. That's where I got skated on.
Oh, wow. That's fucking badass. Look at that. Andy. You're mocking our audience.
I ever tell you that story?
No one cares about it. You're mocking the audience right now.
Oh, man. But it was good to get Brew on. Yeah, I think people will like this, man. Anything takes it down. And again, play for Edmonton. People in Edmonton, certainly. There's history between Brewer and Edmonton, Tampa Bay, all that. Yeah. So, gave an interesting take on playing for Guy Boucher too. I mean, that was a good interview. Glad we got Brew on.
Speaking of Scar,
what?
Guy Boucher,
he's got one.
He's got a bad. Now that's a fucking shit kicking scar.
I don't think he's ever really talked about that.
Like that's a skate in the face kind of scar. You know?
Maybe. Well, you never know. Maybe they've been born with that. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, no, you don't. If you are born with it, you don't tell people.
No, but I respect his privacy, man. You know, you don't want to talk about it. Don't talk. You know, probably something to happen.
He doesn't want to talk about his scar. Like,
no, he does not want to talk about it.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think he's never talked about it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, this interview with Eric Brewer is brought to you by CarShield. Carshield.com, 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. You're going to save 10% if you mention the promo code CAM. Everyone can remember that except you. Everybody knows the promo code except Cam.
Because I typed that mug in, it goes right to it, baby.
So anyway, now is a perfect time to have it. We all know you know that. And don't waste.
Oh God!
Don't mess around.
Don't fuck around. I can't wait to get in my car.
Do not mess around.
Nothing starts.
800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM. Again, you're going to save 10%. All right. Keep it handsome. KeepItHandsome.com. Get the hair products. Get that shampoo. Get that conditioner. And get that Fight Ugly hoodie. And you're going to save 15% when you mention the promo code Cam and Strick. Don't forget about that. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick.
And send me a video. Send me a picture of it, too. I like when you guys send me pictures of it and shit like that. A lot of people got like their wives are getting to them.
Yes, they are.
That's the coolest thing, when your wife surprises you with one of these bad boys.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got whole packages now. You can get a package.
Yeah.
So get that, keep it, the Fight Ugly hoodie. Portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center. So we're fighting the ugly that's out there, man. Again, do what you need to do to help people. This is another way you can do so. You're always wondering, hey, what can I do to make a difference in the world? You buy a Fight Ugly hoodie.
Yeah, man. Everybody has different. Man, some of the, I told you, the notes I get from some of the bullying that goes on, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you on that one. You know, like the workplace shit.
Well,
I can't, I'm talking about your kid getting bullied and stuff like that, but the workplace stuff. This one guy was telling me, I'm like, you got to put your foot down.
Give me an example.
I don't know. I don't know if his wife was kind of getting harassed at work, and and she's like she's like working at a bar. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm like, well.
Now,
I know exactly. So here's what we said to her.
Yes.
He goes, the guy keeps fucking torturing her, and I go, what do you do? And he fucking grabbed her.
Okay. No.
I go, what?
What?
I go, what? I didn't say this, but I'm at Top Shooters every fucking Friday for the past 5 years. I've never seen those girls there. And you know what they're wearing. Not one time has anybody ever done anything. And I'm like, that's not only you have to put your foot down, your wife needs to put her foot down on that, dude. And I know she comes home and blames you, but she needs to go to a fucking owner. She needs to quit that fucking job.
Now I'm more
confused.
That's
the most ridiculous shit in the world. You don't get fucking touched like that. That is so unacceptable.
At the workplace.
At the fucking, you're crazy.
Just go to the boss.
You go to the boss.
And be like, hey.
She's like, she quit.
Oh, so she did?
She quit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I go, that dude.
Or you quit.
I go, she quit. And so I go, dude, but that's on your wife too, dude.
You have two options.
She's got to be like, no.
Yeah, you got to go to the boss.
Yeah.
And you know what? You go to the...
You want to beat him up? I go, it's not on him.
In today's environment, you go to the boss, like, it'll stop right away.
Exactly.
Right away.
And he goes, well, what should I... I go,
or
you don't
quit.
do a fucking thing. I go, the wife needs to quit. Like, that's unacceptable. So
hey,
anyway, things like that.
They've got hats now, too, at Keep It Handsome. The new Cam and Strick hats with our logo on it. So check those out. Again, mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%. Dan Bellman, Bellman.com. That's with two N's, not one N, two N's. Check out the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, all in Troy, Missouri. And you can send your wife in there, which is the most important thing about Bellman.com.
Right, it is.
Yes, great salespeople.
Speaking of creeps, none of that.
Not there.
Not there. Everywhere else, we've all seen it. Yeah. Fucking creep me out sometimes walking in there. Yeah. Like, all right, stop touchy-feely. Fuck's sake, especially Corona.
Well, yeah.
Fuck on.
Put the mask on.
Bow to me. That's what I do. I bow to you. What's the difference? Fuck. Do it from 20 feet away.
We do. We bow to Dan regardless. Regardless.
Hi.
Oh,
That's what you do.
You put your hands like that, too. Yes.
Yeah, like a sensei.
Yeah. So, but either way, even before Corona, you were bowing to Dan Bellman. You just bow to him every time you see him anyway. Right?
I just shake his hand. You might. Who knows what you're doing?
So
Who
anyway.
knows what you're doing to get that fucking badass Cadillac?
Hey, man. I'd bow for that Cadillac. Get that Escalade for sure. You can get that Buick.
You don't need to do it there, though.
Get that Enclave that Cam's been looking at, too. The
man,
pearl white one.
I don't mind those motherfuckers, man.
Pearl white.
Sure, Buicks, but
tan interior.
I don't mind that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's really nice, man, for sure.
I don't mind that.
Cloth seats you're looking at, or what do you... Does it really... Are you picky?
I guess leather is probably the way to go.
Yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah, that's probably so.
Cloth
and they have
seats.
lots of that.
I mean,
you won't find cloth.
Shit,
you're not finding that over there at Bellman. That's for
Remember
damn
those
sure.
old cloth seats where you get in? It's
my God.
Dusty. Like,
oh, my God.
You see your face like, ugh.
Yes.
Some of my Hoosier neighbors back in the day, man, I'd get in their fucking... God, I used to live way the fuck out of the middle of nowhere. Oh, my God. They'd be smoking in the car and I had asthma. I'm like, can you roll... I ain't rolling my window up. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I remember my dad got pissed at one of my neighbors back in the day because the guy, the biggest fucking Hoosier, he takes me to a stock car and I was kind of bored.
Nobody knows what a Hoosier is.
It's a hillbilly, like just like good, like 15 cars in the front yard kind of. And he was just a good kid, and I hung out with him, and his dad was so fucking weird. I remember him yelling at me at a stock car race one time because I went there, and I was freezing, and I was thirsty, and he didn't buy me. Like, you buy kids food when you go places, and I was shaking the thing, and he goes, "Stop shaking the fucking bench." And I sat there and almost cried, and I took my dad, and my dad had to go have a talk with him.
And how'd that go?
Yeah, talk with him.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Is Denny tough? Is your dad tough?
Man.
Is he tough?
So very, very tough.
so very, very tough. I know. I believe you. I believe you.
God. Just like little things like that. Just you don't yell at kids like that.
Oh, hell no.
I was freezing. You know, the coat for me. It was just really weird.
Yeah, and I'm glad he stuck up for you there.
We had to get the fuck out of there. We had to get back into civilization.
Yeah, it was time to move.
It was like a little too much. The neighbors, couldn't even
get out of there.
Dude, they're loud. They're doing. They get their kids with the motorcycles all flying through the neighborhood all over your yard. Like Andy, imagine where you're, the fancy lad. Imagine where you're at.
I've got elk in my back. I've got like 30 elk at a time.
But imagine you had some kids in motorcycles like flying. Like you'd be like, what the fuck?
We even had a little white horn sheep come into my backyard a couple times recently.
That was your neighbor's car. That was your neighbor's like
white horn sheep.
That was your neighbor's Prius.
They'll come in the backyard. It's a.
I've never seen some Prius
llama.
in one neighborhood.
We have some wild llama in our backyard.
Those are useless.
They'll spit at you too.
Yeah, they're useless.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What, do you got a farm back there?
Hey, go to camandstrick.com and check out the hats we have there. Mention the promo. Or actually, they're on sale right now. Just put Cam and Strick in the promo. It's going to save you a bunch of money. Easy. So check that out as we collaborate with Victor Hockey, victorhockey.com. Of course, when I drive, what do I drive?
Black tie.
Black tie. There's no doubt about it.
It's class, baby.
It is classy.
Woo, I can't wait for this weather to get a little bit better. And I'm going to call Ellie. I'm like, "What's up, girl? What you got for me?"
I was talking to Ellie the other day.
She's like, "Hi, Cam. What do you need?"
The selection that's in is unbelievable.
I got
right
Maserati
now.
for you. I got the new Porsche. I got this. And I'm like, "Oh, girl, let me look. Oh, girl, let me look." I'm like, "Kate, what's up? What do you think, girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh, you look good. Oh, Kate would look good in that. I might try that fucking Porsche. I might try that Porsche." But then I'm like, I might try that Maserati.
I don't know if you can handle it. I don't know if you can handle the speed and the power. I mean... I've
had Corvettes, but whatever.
Was your Corvette fast?
No, it was slow.
What color was it?
It was a slow kind of Corvette.
What color was it? Black?
Black on black.
Convertible?
It looked like the Batmobile.
It's only
extended. It was
just a two-seater, right?
No, it's a six-seater. What is wrong with you?
I didn't know if it had a back seat.
No,
some of them have a back seat.
Yeah, it was fast.
Okay, dude, am I wrong about that? Okay, aren't there Corvettes where you can, like, very small, but you can sit in the back?
You are a dumb human being.
Dude. Okay,
I don't know why I teamed up with you.
Okay,
you're good at a lot of things, but fuck, your street smarts are so fucking bad.
How long did you have your Corvette?
6 years. I spent a lot of money. It was a money pit.
Really?
Yeah, I was so anal when I drove it too. I had a little brawl in the front.
You pay cash for it?
Yeah, waste of money.
Was it new?
Nah, it was no. I got a good deal on it, but I pimped it out pretty good. It was quick. It was not all black rims. I expanded it a little bit.
You drive that thing in the snow, dude, during hockey season?
The X-Pipe off. Hell no. X-Pipe off that.
You had 2 cars at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a big Denali too. But I had that as a set in the garage. But every time I would drive it, anytime you get behind something and there'd be a little bit of fucking a dump truck or something, and you'd take a little pebble and stick your car. I was so anal by the end of it. Yeah. I just get nicked up, and I'm like, anytime a little nick happens,
so
like
you're
you're
living in the blue collar part of Eureka with a Corvette.
Yeah, in my garage. Yeah. And a boat in my driveway, $50,000 boat too. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
What a terrible investment! Like, who was handling your investments back then?
Time out. My boat was one of the best investments I've ever had in my life.
Who was giving you advice back then?
Nobody.
Terrible advice on the boat.
And the car was way worse.
The car was terrible, and then you had a boat, which is the worst investment anyway.
I paid cash for that, dick. You pay cash for shit, and so it doesn't fucking matter that. I didn't pay fucking credit. I paid cash for the boat too, and I used that boat for 12 years, and it was the best 12 years of my life. I took my wife.
Did you make your money back when you totaled it, or no?
They gave me half of it back, but I made my money in my fucking fun. Sometimes you have an investment in fun, and that's what I did. While you're fucking writing reports up in the press box with a bunch of fucking nerds, I'm cruising around in the fucking boat going fucking 70 in a foot of water with 15 people on that mug. 7, actually. But it was fun.
7 people.
So yeah, no, I didn't. You don't do that to make your money back on it. You do it to invest in fucking fun And that's exactly what I did. I had the money to do it, and I did it. On the Merrill. It was a mile away from my house. You don't even have to get on the highway to take it back to my fucking driveway. It was the nicest setup. But the Corvette was dumb. That was dumb.
Why?
Because I didn't drive it. It was boring when you drive. You can only drive your car. I didn't race it. And every time I drove it, I get pulled over or it rained. I fucking slide over the place and shit.
I used to race my 72 Mustang. Dude, people were sending me pictures of their 72 Mustangs. I'm getting messages. I sent it to you. You forgot about that too. You're like, oh yeah, we did talk about that.
You probably told me. It went through one ear and then out the other.
I sent you I sent you the picture, dude. It was a great picture.
But the point is, like, the Corvette is just a waste. It was a money pit. But the boat they are money pits. I blew an engine out of it, blew another one, but you put another one back in. I was making good money, and it was so I took that thing everywhere, man. I took it to fucking different lakes and different rivers all around Missouri with my buddies. God, dude, the thing went 70 miles an hour in a foot of water. It was a jet engine made of aluminum.
Amazing.
With a
so anyway, when I drive black tie. So check it out. Get that app. Select your car. Select the fleet that you want it from, and call Dylan and Ellie. Let them take care of you, man, and introduce you to a badass way to getting some nice ass cars. All right, this has been episode number 115. Eric Brewer, the legend, on this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast.